Hello everyone, it is Jazz here. Today I am doing a little video called Short Thoughts on Current Reads. Sometimes I have a lot of thoughts that I would like to express on books that I'm currently reading, but I often resist talking about them in a video because, you know, it's not yet a book review. I can't review the book in its entirety because I haven't completed it. However, today I thought I would just give it a go and try doing something a little different and talking about some quick little thoughts on books that I am working on completing. So I figure might as well start out with the read that I've been reading for the longest time, and also the read that's sort of my challenge read. I like to have a little bit of a challenging read amongst my other reads because it's good to challenge yourself sometimes. So this is La Mort d'Arthur by Sir Thomas Malory, and I'm pretty sure that I'm pronouncing the title wrong every time I pronounce this title, but you know what? I've given up trying to say it right. This is basically a compilation of French and English stories about King Arthur and his knights that Sir Thomas Malory translated, as well as adding some of his own ideas to. So I've talked about this before. This is definitely a challenging read. It was written in the 1400s, I believe, and well, Middle English. Right, so as they sat there, came running in a white hart into the hall, and a white brachet next to him. And right about that time, I'm going back into the back of this where there's a glossary and looking up what a brachet is, which it's a small hound, just so you know. It's little vocabulary things like that that kind of throw you sometimes while reading this book. This is also a pretty big chunky book, so I think that's another reason why it's taking me a little while to read, but I don't mind that. It actually kind of works to read this slowly because this book is actually separated into several smaller books, so you can just basically read the book section of one story every once in a while and you're totally cool. I found reading this really educational because I've really started to notice that a lot of our modern high fantasy storylines kind of draw from the Arthurian legends, so I do think this has really helped me apply kind of what I've learned about the Arthurian legend to other things. I'm also reading a non-fiction read, and for my non-fiction read I am reading Billy Idol's memoir, which is called Dancing with Myself, of course. I'm listening to this in audiobook because I love when a memoir is done in audiobook and the actual writer, in this case Billy Idol, is reading it. Right off the bat, I really did enjoy how this book was written. He's a songwriter, and that comes through in the book, and because he's a musician, a lot of the book is about different kinds of music that he listened to at different ages and how that influenced his music, and I find that really interesting as somebody that is also a musician. So I'm really curious to see how the memoir develops and what I'll think of it when I get to the end of it. Now for my two fiction reads. So the first fiction read I'm reading is Stephen King's Lisey's Story. This is a book about a widow named Lisey, and her husband has died, and he was a writer, and he has kind of some dark secrets that are kind of being revealed throughout the story, and that's kind of all I know so far because this book is a mystery wrapped in an enigma. I'm a little over 200 pages into this, and I have to say it's not at all what I expected it to be, but that's actually kind of a really cool thing about it. It's unlike any other Stephen King novel that I've read or any other novel that I've read, and that is pretty darn fun to read because it's not at all predictable. You're just like, I don't know what's happening, but it's awesome. There are also some really lovely passages in this book that are just beautifully written, or really interesting thoughts that make me go, I'm glad this is a trade paperback because I'm just gonna dog ear the heck out of this. So I'm looking forward to reading more about Lisey and her life and what the heck is going on, and reading some more cool passages, hopefully. The last book that I have to talk about today is Otherland by Tad Williams, which I have mentioned in a video or two. This is a science fiction novel about a futuristic world where people mostly live in virtual reality. They live in the real world, but they do a lot of work and business and other craziness in virtual reality. One of the main characters in this because there are many, as you could tell by the length, is named Rini, and her brother gets this sickness from going into the virtual world, and she's basically trying to figure out how to save him. And again, this is unlike any other book that I've ever read. So far from what I've seen, it has a really cool science fiction world building element to it, but it also has some elements of high fantasy and other genres inserted into it, including like mythology and things like that, because of the nature of virtual reality and what you could do with that. And that is becoming really super interesting. But it also leads to this thing where I go, I have no idea what's going on in this book, and it's kind of awesome. Again, just totally unpredictable. I have no idea what is going on, and it's actually a good thing because everything that is revealed is a surprise. I'm almost to page 260 in this, so I feel like things are starting to interlock or really be gonna be revealed because I'm getting towards the middle of the book, and I'm really curious to see what's going on. I hope you guys enjoyed my little thoughts on my current reads, and I of course will review them when I finish them sometime later. I'm probably gonna read most of these for a little bit of a while though, because with the exception of Dancing with Myself, every other book is over 500 pages. I'm going through a phase where I'm having a moment where I like can't sit still and focus on reading except for like 2 days of the week. And then the other days I'm like zipping around. My brain is zipping around. But that's okay. Yet again, it's totally cool to read slow. It's not about how many books you read. It's about the quality of those books. And all of these have pretty good quality, so I can't complain. So if you like hearing about my current reads, please let me know. I'm really open to doing more of these, maybe once a month or something, doing a currently reading type video. And that is it for today. I will see you all on Sunday. Thank you for watching. Bye!